Good morning, everyone. How are you guys doing? Good morning. Aren't we highly favored to be here this morning already and right now? For some, it's morning, for some, it's evening, but in this moment right now, are we not highly favored to be here? We have been allowed to be here to get ready to end our day or start our day, a whole new day. Isn't this incredible? It's amazing. So glad to see each and every one of you here, and thank you so much for your support and thumbs up. Welcome into Desired Outcome. If you have not already subscribed to this channel or subscribed to the positivity that we always want to invite into our life, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button, turn those notification bells on so you know when we're going live. Desired Outcome is all about positivity and promoting channels to be the amazing creators and individuals that we are. We are tapping in and we are centering ourselves on the energy that we have within ourselves. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to see you guys here. And as you see in the title, we are here just to talk, to make friends, to engage. For some, as we start to end our day, we are ending it on a positive note. And for others of us, as with myself, today is a new day. It is morning. We are starting a brand new day. We are inviting positivity already into our life before we commence our day. And that's incredible. We're streaming at my time, 5 a.m. live. That is Pacific time. We are streaming 8 a.m. live Eastern time here in the U.S. Welcome to everyone who is here, and thank you so very much for your thumbs up, your engagement, and for you being here today. Good morning, good evening, Malik. Is it morning or evening for you today? So for some, depending on what region of the world we are here from, it may be morning, it may be evening, but we all on this channel get a wrench. And the reason for that wrench is if you have a channel, if you have content here on YouTube, we want to promote your content. We ask that once you're given the wrench that you remain positive, keep the chat positive, and be very welcoming to everyone who comes into the chat so that we can all make friends here on YouTube. It's all about engagement. It is all about engagement. Oh my goodness, it is so early here on the Pacific Coast, and you know what? I am ready for it. This is an amazing, amazing time of the morning for me to just reflect on what transpired yesterday and bring solely those lessons into this new day. Thank you guys, every one of you, for jumping into the stream. Thank you for those who are staying with the stream. Thank you for those who are sharing your positivity in the chat. We welcome you here today. Good morning, Wonder Lala. Appreciate you leaving your message in the chat. Good morning, Real Fever Deborah. Appreciate you being here and leaving your message in the chat. Noontend Octob, thank you so much for being here in the chat. And you said, who wants to be your friend? We would all enjoy being your friend. We will all enjoy being your friend. As a matter of fact, let me open up another tab and let's see what content, if any, you have on YouTube. We will do that. And let's make sure to share that said content here on YouTube. Okay, what do you have on your channel? Let's take a look. Oh, okay, you're a viewer. Okay, I get it. And the last reel you posted was 5 years ago. That's a long time. Are you going to post any additional reels? That's a long time, 5 years. Well, we appreciate you being here. Welcome into Desired Outcome. Hey, good morning, Real Fever Deborah. I'm here. I'm driving. Drive safe. Drive safe. I'm so glad that you're listening in to this morning. I wanted to tell you, I saw something last night on YouTube, and I left a message on the creator's content, but it was something that I wanted to remind myself. I'm like, when you wake up tomorrow morning, let's talk about this, because it was an interesting conversation that he was having, and this was the conversation. He said that he doesn't like that when his friend would have an issue with him, that his friend would come back and act like nothing ever happened the next day or whenever they saw each other again. And I thought about that, and I was like, okay, I get the essence of what you're saying, because I've heard that before. Definitely I've heard that before. But think about something else. It is possible, when you are inviting a realm of positivity in your life, it is so very possible for you to accept certain things and dismiss other things. You can dismiss the things that are not in alignment with the positivity that you want in your life. And you can accept those things as lessons and move from them, bring them with you, because it's a lesson. It's something that could help you and encourage you to be a better person the next day. You can definitely bring it with you. You can remember it, but why do you have to stay with it? And I thought that was interesting that he said that. Let me give you another scenario. If I am on YouTube, and I was on YouTube yesterday, if I run across content or a creator or some type of negative element on the channel, on the YouTube social media platform, and I deal with it in that day, I make a comment, I interact with the creator or whoever's giving that type of energy, and then I move on from it. Why would I want to bring that energy or that moment, that element, other than the lesson it gives, to today? I actually should start a new day, and it should appear to others as if nothing happened yesterday, because that's not the energy I want to bring with me to the new day. That's not the situation I want to continue in my space. That's something I would want to dismiss and only bring the reminder or the lesson into the new day. That's okay. And I thought about that comment, and there were so many people in the chat, and they were agreeing and they were in agreement with it. That element, we had a live stream yesterday, and I had asked the question of what is the energy that we create? What is the energy that we create? And the letters EAT were red. It was so that I could pull out of that word create the word eat, which is another word for consumption. And I did that because I wanted to identify that some of the content that we create is a duplicate of the content we consume. And so as I was in this chat, and honestly, I don't always jump into positive channels, because I don't know, I support so many channels and I go and I watch their content, or sometimes I don't get to watch their content, so I jump into their live streams. And I never quite know when I go into someone's live stream what type of energy they're putting out until I'm there. So I don't always surround myself on social media around strictly positive content, but I try. I try because that's what I want to invite in my life. It's the same thing with all of my other channels. I tend to follow creators and channels that bring positive energy or that bring the energy that I'm inviting into my life. They may not always be positive 100% of the time, but they have a fun energy. They have an energetic energy. They have an inviting energy. I will follow creators that bring forth that type of content because that's the content that I would like to produce and that's the content that I would like to consume in my life. So that's really what yesterday's live stream was about, and what I'm continuing into today's live stream, because that's something that in social media, those of us that are viewers, those of us that are creators, because every creator is a viewer. At some point, we are consuming content on social media and we are relinquishing content on social media as creators. At some point, we are viewers just the same. And it's interesting because we want to pay attention to the energy that we're inviting into our lives, into our space. All this, well, right now I'm in a really small space because I have one space in my condo that allows me to stream with minimal interruption, and even that's questionable. So I found this one space, and I'm like this, that allows me to stream, and it connects the best to the Wi-Fi. And this is the space, if you follow any of my other channels, this is the space that I typically film from. And it looks like a little box with a whole bunch of blinds. I get it. But this is where the best energy is in this house for streaming. This is the best Wi-Fi section. But when we talk about inviting energy, a lot of people are still tapping into that idea of the energy that we have within us. Our whole entire body, and I did this sample yesterday, our whole entire body is circulating energy. It is circulating energy. We are not just made of organs and bloodstream and all of the things we learn in biology. There is a small section in that biology book that explains the energy that is in us, that is within us. And it's that energy that we try to tap into every day, because it's that energy that defines the positivity that we send up to our brain through the brain waves, and it comes back down into our body, and it's a constant cycle of communication within our body. We want to invite the positivity because first thing in the morning, we want to invite positivity into our life because we want to send to our brain that we are seeking positive results. We are seeking growth. We are seeking increase. We want to continue to send that to the brain so that the brain will send back to the body the element of positivity and the energy of positivity. So as our energy is circling in our body, we are also sending messages throughout our body. And it's that centering, it is that moment that we begin to start. You see all of this that's going on, a lot is going on within us. And it is that moment that we begin to see increase growth. We begin to see positive things in our life. We can smile. We can feel good. We can feel good about the things we are doing. It is that moment that we invite an aura into our energy of positivity. We want that. And in today's time, with everything that is going on, there's so much going on, and it's so sad, and it taps into the essence of our hearts because we feel for that. Right now, Turkey is going through devastation. They have, I work with someone on social media. I work with someone who actually lives in Turkey. And I was speaking to him the other day. Now, this is before I had even heard about it. We were working together on a project, and then I, he said, there's mass devastation. I don't know how long I will have Wi-Fi. And because I had not tapped into the news as of yet, I said, oh, what happened? Like, what happened over there? And as he was explaining what happened, and as he was explaining how he was only going to work a short time because his family was going to go out and search for friends and family that they have not been able to connect with. As he was saying all of that, I felt the energy of pain through his words, the energy of literal pain. And it's okay. It's okay to invite that energy for a moment, because what was pushed out was a moment of he and I having a conversation. And I said, you know what? We should not even be working today. Today is a day that you really need to take for yourself, your family, your country, your continent. You need to take this moment for what is going on there. And he came back and he was like, thank you. Thank you for that. And I was like, oh, what do you mean? Because I didn't feel like I had did anything other than any other person would have possibly done. And he said, thank you for reminding me of what is important. And I was like, you already knew that, but I accepted that. Because sometimes we do need a reminder. I know he already knew. They were going through mass devastation where he resides. He already knew what he needed to do, but he questioned what he wanted to do. Do I go to work? Do I address this? Do I look for family? And I was so glad to be there to offer him that reminder, and also to be in agreement with him. My goodness, no, you need to be out amongst your family right now. This is scary, scary information. So sometimes we just need that reminder of what it is that is important to us personally. And sometimes we do question. You know, there was once a time where my aunt was not doing well and was in the hospital for a few days. And I remember that my job had asked me to do extra hours. And I was thinking to myself, man, I don't want to not have coverage during this time, but I really, really wanted to go see my aunt. And I'm like, my goodness, what do I do? And I was in conflict for a moment there. I really was. And I'm like, is there a way to do coverage for this job and go see my aunt? It wasn't that I was putting one above the other. It was that both of them equally needed my attention, needed what I felt was my presence. And so, one moment I had to get a cup of coffee in me. And so I thought about that. And I ended up letting him know what was going on in my personal life, which when I was working for corporate America, before I started my business and before I started doing all that I do now, I worked for corporate America for years, 23 years. And when I was working for corporate America, the thing that I was very cautious to do was attempt to keep my personal life separate from my business life. And a lot of people, they embrace that. A lot of people don't embrace that. A lot of people will take their personal life into their professional life a lot in the form of befriending the coworkers and relinquishing personal information, and just, because that's how we build friends. I trust you, you trust me. We build trust through information that we share. All of that is understandable. um, I kept that separate solely because I wanted to make sure for myself that I identified what was personal and what was business. I didn't often go out with coworkers, and some of you may not agree with that. You'll have to let me know in the comments, because some of you may not agree with this, and that is okay. For myself, I didn't do a lot of social gathering. We didn't go out to the clubs or to the bars or to dinner very often. Now, I would allow a realm of social engagement to occur when we went out for lunches in the midst of my work day. Because, see, from the time I start working to the time I clock out, I devote that time to, or I devoted that time to corporate America. Now, from the time I start working, and I got up this morning at 4 o'clock, I started working at 4:30 because I do social media, I do resell, I'm constantly on the computer. So from the time that I get up and start my workday to the time that now I decide that I'm ending my workday, that time is devoted to work. But the minute, and I absolutely mean the minute, because you guys would have to be with me at closing. When it's time to end that day, it is funny because I shut down everything almost simultaneously. And that's it for me. I shut down literally everything. And then I go into a whole new sector. I'm silly by nature, but if you live here and if you're part of my family and you're here with me, you can agree, because I already know you know. Mm-mm. I go into silly mode. I start texting silly things. I'm just laughing and enjoying the moment. I literally bring myself down every day laughing with someone. I'm texting someone, I'm messaging someone. I'm just, and that is how I release all of the things that I did during that day. So now when you're a business owner, every day is a different day. Some days are extremely good. Some days are questionable. You don't know if you're going to hit your sales quotas, if you're going to hit your levels, if you're going to get your tasks done. You just don't know all of that. Good morning, Peggy. So glad to see you. We are in here just conversating, chit-chatting amongst each other. Actually, Real Fever Deborah is here and she's driving. And then we have a few others that are here. They haven't chatted in the chat room. So I'm just having a conversation with the few of us that are here this morning, and just bringing positive energy into our thoughts and in our minds and into our body this morning before we all start our day. And for some of the individuals, because there's some people that are tapping in from Facebook, for some of the individuals, it's actually nighttime, and this is their nighttime recap moment. So we're recapping, we are beginning, we are starting, but we are bringing positivity into our sleep. We are bringing positivity into our day, and just hanging out here today, this morning together. Well, I drink this coffee that I made probably a little too strong for today, but we'll see. If I stream later on any of these channels, we're gonna know how strong this coffee is, because I think it might be a little too coffee. See, I think it might be a little too strong to be coffee. I just want to make sure everybody has wrenches here. Drop your channels, drop your favorite channels. I go back through the live stream. So after I stream, I go back through the live stream and I pick up the links to the channels that are left inside of the chat. And then I take them to my comment section here on Desired Outcome. I take it to my comment section and then I post them outside of the video. Because what I want to do is I'm encouraging channels. There's channels as viewers that we really enjoy being on. Drop those channels. It's okay. because those channels we really want to pump up and we want to promote. If we enjoy being there, then they deserve our promotion. I go into streams all the time and I'll be listening to a creator or the content and I'm like, oh my goodness, have you heard of this person? Or have you been on this channel? Because they give similar content and the creator's like, no, I haven't heard that. So I'm constantly like sending referrals to channels and referencing channels because there are so many channels that are so similar to each other, and the creators probably would not even meet each other if it wasn't for the audience to say, there's another creator that gives your same content. Like I watched this, now I don't know what, I think the niche might be budgeting, but it's like those channels. I don't know if you guys have, you'll have to let me know in the comments. But it's those channels where they do like daily budget and cash stuffing into like the envelopes. They have like the envelopes that expand and they're like cash stuffing into different subjects. I might actually tap into that because that looks like it would be fun. It looks like it would be something I could actually use in my life as well. But they do like this cash stuffing, and it's literally when they go live, it's literally a 1 hour live stream of them stuffing cash in for certain things. Peggy says, I woke up emotionally, so I'm glad you are positive, sending positive. Peggy. One, thank you for sharing that with us, because that is precisely what desired outcome is here for. Because alongside the positivity that is here on the screen right now, there is a room of individuals, some who may be experiencing the same thing. Because it's interesting. We wake up, and I had just said this earlier in the stream. We wake up, and we may wake up because something has transpired in our life, and we wake up and we're responding to that. We may wake up and we wake up on something that happened yesterday, and we are reminding ourselves of what that situation was. On a new day, we have a direction that we can go. We have a direction that we can take everything that's with us and in our energy when we first wake up, because our body rested. Our body is resting when we go to sleep. It's revitalizing itself, it's rebuilding, it's rejuvenating from the prior day. And what's interesting is our energy is constantly circulating as we sleep. And so there's those that were like, oh, 5 a.m., it's morning for you, but it's night for me. And I said, that's okay, tap into the stream. Tap into the stream. Because even though your day has ended, you can still invite a realm of positivity into your body, into your mind, into your soul as you begin to lay down for the night. Because energy is constantly rotating in our body, even when our body is resting, when our organs are resting, when we are rebuilding, energy is constantly moving in our body. And so we can take positivity with us at night and then wake up to it again in the morning. But see, Peggy, you have an aura of positivity within you, which means that if you are in an emotional state right now, it is because it is something that has tapped in to your positive realm. Something is so important to you that it has tapped in to your energy. And you know why that is important to realize? Because that's something that's important. It's something that you may feel like you need to address, or it's something that you may feel like you need to spend a little bit of time on. But it doesn't necessarily have to be something that stays with you throughout the day, because you have an aura of positivity amongst you, and something has tapped into it because it's so very important to you. and it has tapped into your emotional state, which is part of the energy. So what's interesting is the energy that's circulating in our body. There are, as you guys know, with lightning, let's just take lightning for example. Lightning has so much energy compound into a certain stream. When it hits, we see the bolt. It's a quick, we see that lightning bolt. But the residual effect of lightning, which brings on the thunder and everything, is that there are elements released when that bolt hits because of the compound of the energy. We see that. But what we don't quite see are the elements that are released when that lightning hits. That is how our energy works, and why we tap into things that make us emotional, that may make us angry, sad, hurtful. Those things are tapped into our energy. And what happens is there's an abundance of energy that's circulating through us in a stream of energy just flowing throughout our body. And there are elements of that energy that gets released because we care, we love, we're concerned. We have that in our body. And it is just that we have to address that. We can't dismiss it because it affected us that much. Peggy says, it was my son murdered. I miss him so much. It felt like yesterday, going on 3. Oh my gosh, Peggy. Peggy. First of all, let me tell you, I am so, so very sorry to hear that. That is an abundance. That is an abundance of pain to take on. And I just pray right now that you are not taking that on by yourself. I'm glad that you're here with us today because, oh my goodness, that immediately attached to my aura. It really did. I am so, so very sorry. And you know what? You said something in your statement. You said it feels like yesterday. That makes so much sense. 3 years is a short time. It's a short time, but it seems like forever because that is a great loss. I think about my children and my grandchildren, and a piece of me would literally be with them because that is of our body. It is of our soul. I'm trying to center myself right now for you, girl. So I'm so glad that you're here with me. I'm glad that you're here with us and sharing this. I'm trying to center myself right now to be there with you because my mind, my body, my soul. Real Fever Deborah says, Peggy, I am so sorry to hear about your son. We are. To hear that news, that has to be so overwhelming. And when you said I woke up emotional this morning, that great loss was the furthest thing from my thought at that moment. So I'm so glad you shared that with us. Oh my goodness. Your family, your amazing friends, your social media family and friends that you've gained here are going to be there for you today and every day, Peggy. You invite positive people into your life because you are so positive yourself. Just think, you had to endure a great loss, an incredible loss. And you each day are trying to rebuild from that loss. And look at what you are able to do. That is an incredible woman every day, who has endured that level of loss, that rebuilds herself every day. Oh my goodness, I know every day you are reminded of what some monster out there took from you. I know that even my aura right now, the anger of hearing that, I know right now you deal with a cluster of emotions, and you have to contain that cluster of emotion to keep going each day. And each and every day you do that. What an incredible woman. What an incredible woman you are to be able to do that each and every day. Oh, I need to personally connect with you, Peggy. I need to personally connect with you. I need you in my aura. We choose at times who we want to be in our circle. Some people keep their circle big. They're friendly to everybody. They're inviting everybody in because they need that element of a big circle. They need to feel like I'm part of a big circle of friends, of community. Some of us, we keep our circle so very, very small and so very, very selective for good reasons. So it's okay. It's okay to have a large circle. It's okay to have a small circle. But there are people like yourself, Peggy, who carry this level of energy that I have always connected with from day one. Yeah, hand selected to be in this circle because I need you in this realm. Yes, I stay strong for my grandkids and my other son. One thing about being mothers, being grandmothers, and I'm not yet a great grandmother, but the one thing about being mothers and about being grandmothers is that we tap into a strength we didn't even know. Women are so very strong. And I know we hear this, we hear this from others, we hear it from social media, but to be a woman and to realize the level of strength we have, that has to be encouraging to us. If I ever said anything, I think once on my stream, I said, if we need to put ourselves up on the throne, I truly meant that. As women, and you, Peggy, as a mother and a grandmother who has succumbed to such great loss, because my goodness, there's levels to that loss. You lost a piece of your family, a piece of you, and you lost it to the hands of a monster. I still, to my day, when I hear about these mass shootings and these mass killings, and I still to this day cannot wrap my grasp around the level of pain that families are inflicted with when these monsters come in and make a conscious decision to take someone's life that they had no business taking. I still can't grasp my mind around that moment. But you move each day from that great loss and you're there for your family as a whole. The magnitude of a woman you are, Peggy, to be there for your family, to be strong for yourself. Because I know one thing about this, Peggy, you have to know the queen you are. You have to know the essence of the beautiful person that you are in order to hold yourself together for your family. It's undisputed to me that you know and have tapped into the incredible woman that you are and that you have to be in order to be there for your family through all that has transpired. Um, if I had a crown, I would hand it to you. You know what? I'm gonna order crowns because I need to be able to present a crown to each and every one of you amazing people because that is an amazing, amazing story. And you are in a position, Peggy, where you have put yourself on a pedestal as you should, where you should be, because you have done an incredible thing. You have put yourself in a position of being there for your family amidst all that your family has endured. And Peggy, I crown you today. I crown your magnificence. You are amazing. You are incredible. And you are there for your family. You're bringing that portion of your amazing self to your family. And that is incredible. You're just amazing. Man, when I say tug, Peggy, whoo, I'm saying tug. My heart. Oh my goodness. Deborah, are you still here with us? I know Deborah is driving, but if she were here, I feel like she would really be saying the same thing to you, Peggy. How amazing you are. I know she's driving and we want to make sure that she's safe. So I'm gonna say it for her that we have to be in agreement that you are an incredible, amazing woman. Incredible. Thank you, sister. I felt your good vibes from day one. I agree, Peggy. Okay, so a lot of people don't connect with me, and that's okay. They don't connect with me because they think, and I've heard this. I've actually had people that are like, they're thinking you're fake. There's no way you could be this happy all the time. I'm not. I'm not always happy all the time. But what I'm not going to do, and what I'm able to do, is that I'm able to separate my personal situation as I did in the workforce. I'm able to separate my personal situation most of the time before I hit the airways. I'm able to separate what is going on with me medically and all of that before I hit the airways. It doesn't make me fake. She said, real fever, Deborah, I get it. Yes, still driving. Drive safe. We're here with you, sis. We're right here in your ear. We'll stay right here in your ear. So when I separate myself from the things, the negative things, and a lot of people, I just mentioned it on yesterday's live or maybe the live before that a lot of people come to social media for a moment to get away from what is transpiring in their lives. They come to social media to tap into others. And this is a great way to reach people across the world. We can reach people on a live stream across the world. The interesting thing about that is it holds true for creators as well. So when we jump onto the camera and we present material and content to everybody, we present a certain level of energy to them. Exactly what we were talking about yesterday. What energy are you creating as content creators? And that is what makes me separate my personal from my online presence, because I understand and I know that people come here to get away from the world. And so, like, example, I'm going to be doing a video about the recent killing of a young man, a young black man, by officers who literally beat him to death. And that is going to be, and it's taken me a while to do this. If you guys, I don't know, I'm going to share a piece of my streaming. So when I do live streams, it's just live streaming. I'm just talking amongst everybody. We're just engaging. We're just having a personal moment. But when I do videos, there are some videos that are so important to the material that I'm trying to get out. You'll notice the videos that are important to me because I will speak slower. I will have hesitations, and it'll seem like that video is dragging on because by nature, I'm high energy. I'm constantly going, and sometimes I can talk very fast. But when I'm talking about something important, I slow myself down because I know that I could talk fast. But additionally, when I'm talking about something very important, I'm doing all of that. That is one film. That's one film. I have jotted down notes, researched things, Everything that I want to put into that video, that is all right here on 2 pages for me. And as you can see, that was a lot of writing. So I did a lot of research for a 15-minute video. It's it's incredible what I do. But it's because when I made the decision to jump on YouTube, and when I made the decision to separate my channels into the niches and the content that they bring, I keep them absolutely separate for a reason. Because one channel may bring a certain energy level. And one channel is fun. I don't know if you follow, how many of my channels you follow, but one channel is absolutely fun. And I enjoy it because I enjoy the environment and the realm that I'm in. Most of you are going to know what channel that is, my primary. Then I have another channel that taps into social events. It talks about what's going on in the world, and that channel pulls in a different type of energy because as I address those issues, I consume portions of that. Like I'll hear a story and it becomes a part of me, and I'm consuming some of that energy. So that channel pushes out different content because it deals with a lot of the social issues where that's what we'll be talking about, this recent murder of this young man. And the reason why it is so hard is because I think I shared on my channels, when I was 8 years old, I called the police because my dad was acting weird and I didn't understand what was going on. Well, just recently, I too have been diagnosed with seizures. So I'm now an epileptic. Anyway, as I called the police out because my dad was acting weird, I didn't understand what was going on. I called them out for help. The end result was that they murdered my father that night. And I was 8 years old, and I had to go with the overwhelming feeling of being responsible for dialing those doggone 3 digits. I say that still to myself some days. Although I understand that it wasn't directly my fault, I always say those doggone 3 digits. So when my father was murdered, see, those officers didn't understand that there was a bunch of adrenaline when they came. He was acting weird. It started to feel, thank you so much for that, Peggy. It was a bunch of adrenaline. A lot of officers responded because when a little child, and later in life, I go on to serve and I go on to work with the police department, the actual same police department that murdered my father. I go to work alongside them. And people were like, oh, you're the queen of spite, you know, and it wasn't out of spite. It wasn't. I went to work alongside that department, one, because it was in the area that I was residing, but I went to work alongside that department because there was no way for me to continue with life without fully understanding how that department operated. What was about that department that, did they fail? Did the department fail? Did, you know, was it the individuals that failed? I had questions, and I couldn't really find out those questions unless I was physically there. So I physically put myself there. And that's just how I operate. That's how I operate with a lot of things. There's some channels on YouTube that they speak on matters, and it's great. Their channels are doing great. They're you know, they grow on drama. That's them. That's their channels. Good job. But they speak on matters, and I'm like, you know what? I think that the conversation would be different if you physically put yourself in that position. I really think that when we push out content and when we try to understand things, that it's not the best thing to devise our own scenario or devise our own conclusion to it, but yet to experience it ourselves, put ourselves out there. I was homeless. At one point, I was homeless. And I was homeless by choice, not I was homeless to create content. What happened was some elements happened in my life. I was separating from my husband, And I didn't really want to tap into bothering my family about like trying to room with them or trying to sleep on a couch or anything like that. I said, you know what? I could just get through this myself for a few months, just get through this moment. And I did. Not that I didn't have family that didn't love me, that couldn't help me. I didn't want to inconvenience anybody. That was just my personal preference, and I chose to be homeless. Well, something about that experience has helped me to grow into the person I am today. Because for 3 months, I slept in parks in my car. I interacted with people that others would never typically interact with. And it started to build a new person within me because I started to appreciate simple things. And a lot of people, they don't understand that. They don't understand that about me. A lot of people cannot tap in to my energy. I get it. I'll be the oddball out because I have a certain energy that makes me smile every day and I want to hold on to this energy. But a lot of people cannot tap into it. But to this day, myself, my daughter, my son and daughter, they live in different states now because they're grown. We are always there for homeless. We're there for the homeless. I speak on behalf of the homeless. I serve the homeless. I will cook for the homeless at different times. We have some regulations here within our state and our county that makes it hard for us just to cook in our home and then go and just pass out to the homeless. But we do that because when I was in that state, I was able to be in an experience that gives me a whole different story to homelessness. And I'm so grateful for that experience because now I understand that not everybody is homeless and on the street because they're alcoholics or drug addicts. Some of them are dealing with mental health. Some of them honestly, and a portion of what I was dealing with was ego at that time. It really was. Peggy says, wow, me too. I was homeless with my son and it was hard, but at the end, God blessed. I love that, Peggy. See, as we are interacting right now, we're learning so much about each other that we typically would not learn about each other on any other channel because there's not an aura or a realm that would allow us to do this. That's incredible. That's what made me change my job to working in a shelter for domestic women. I knew it's the energy. You guys cannot dispute the unimaginable energy. Peggy, I told you from day one, I knew there was something about you that connected with my energy. We have to connect personally. We have to connect personally. We work in the same. So I devote my time to doing volunteer work and what I can do for those that are homeless, those that are in just a temporary need. There is a local church, and I actually don't even attend that church. I attend a mega church out here in my city, and I probably should think that through. But I work with another church for a lot of reasons. They have a food pantry, and there's something interesting that they do with the food pantry that I really like. They ask for those of us to donate our time to drive the food to the individuals because a lot of the individuals are elderly. A lot are vets. I may do a stream and I don't know what channel I'm going to do that on, but I want to talk about, we always give the day to veterans, it's Veterans Day and we give a day, but 364 other days out of the year, the veterans are sometimes pushed aside. And most of the time, when everybody is pushed aside, you wouldn't believe what transpires amongst veterans here in the States. And I may address that on a channel one. But I work and good morning, Nista. Hey, girl. Okay, see, this channel is all about energy. And I'm sorry I get pumped up when I see her because Nista brings a certain level of energy. I call it the real energy. It's the real deal. It's the real energy. She brings it. And she's like, she said, so true. And she's like pushing out a channel that's um see, Nisa jumps into the chat. I start getting text messages. Nisa's in the chat. See, that type of energy. So when she pushes out this big channel energy, I loved that. I was like, oh yeah, that's her. Nope, that's the channel for her. Nisa talked about big channel energy, and that was probably a great decision. I don't know if 10 people sat around a table and it was like, okay, what kind of energy is Nisa going to bring to YouTube? But whoever those 10 were that were involved in that decision were brilliant, because that is precisely the energy that you bring, and so many people are tapping into that. I tap into it. I don't get to be in your chats as often because of my multitasking. I didn't realize what 8 channels, the level of what 8 channels was going to mean. In all honesty, I really didn't. I didn't. So, anyways, I'm in the chats because I'm feeding the energy into my soul. Just the 10 people in my head. Hey, you know what? But like I said, the 10 people that were wrapped around that table, brilliant, because that's the type of energy that you brought from day one when you stepped onto the platform. That's the energy you brought, and I love that your tag is at Big Channel Energy, because it's a reminder to everybody the type of energy that you're going to continue to bring. Man, talk about these channels that are going to blow up. I was just saying, Jackpot Besties. Oh my gosh, that channel is about to blow up. Nista, that channel is about to blow up. There are some channels that are in different niches on this platform. I stay close to them because I'm like, I'm just going to watch them grow. They're about to just explode. I want to be there just to witness it and be like, oh yeah, I knew her back when this. I just want that moment. No, and no, thank you, Nista. Seriously, for the energy that you bring. We need more of that, real on this platform. So I was just saying to Peggy. Peggy shared with us earlier in the stream some personal elements, and it brought me to share some personal elements, and then we both figured out that we both work with the public. I work with homelessness. Excuse me. She works with domestic violence. And I told her, I said, from day one, I felt some energy about Peggy, and I think we all can agree. We felt some energy about Peggy that made her a special individual. Just in the chats, just the words that she was typing, we could feel some energy about her. And then to learn these personal things about her today has been amazing. Real Fever Deborah is in the chat. She's driving, but she's here with us. Another incredible woman that when you see her in the chat, she just brings a certain level of energy. Just beautiful people, you guys. Oh my goodness, I really feel like an hour is not enough on this channel, because I could push out positivity all day long. I have to I stay positive because of all that I've endured. I have brought it into my energy, and I have transpired it into positive energy to push out. So I got positive energy for days, y'all. Positive energy for days. But what I need you to do, if you have a channel, please drop your link into the chat just for me briefly before we end the stream, because I copy those links into the comments, and it's that idea. I may take it over to Level Up because it's a great idea and it's working. I see that people are liking them, and I see that they're actually clicking on those in the comment section. So definitely drop your links in here so that I can copy them over. Actually, most of everybody in here, I know how to grab your links. And Wander Lala, I know that you are here and unable to type with us. Thank you so much for being here with us. Nisa, thank you for coming in with your energy. Deborah, thank you so much for being with us as you drive into your destination. Continue to be safe. Thank you so much, Peggy. Appreciate you dropping the link. Peggy, thank you again. Please connect with me on any of on these channels. Desired outcome email is desiredoutcome57@gmail.com. Please, 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 I encourage you to connect with me. Reek, thank you for being here. Okay, I'm about to end the live stream, but Reek, I appreciate you being here. Let me give you a wrench if you have a channel. Oh, Reek, you don't have a channel, but hey, you know what? I'm going to give you a wrench. Drop a link to your favorite channel. That is okay here. um, Malik, appreciate you being here. I want to make sure I don't forget anybody. Real Fever Deborah, thank you. Peggy, thank you so much. Please connect. Nisa, thank you so much for being here. Reek, thank you so much for being here. Nunteb, thank you so much for being here. Wanda, Lala, everybody that is here, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I will see you all on the next stream. Have a positive, beautiful day, and I look forward to streaming with you soon. Have a great day. Peggy, reach out. Have a fabulous day.